All right, Ari, welcome back to the podcast. How are you?
Welcome back.
Been a couple week.
How are you?
Yeah, been a week. Good to see you. Good to see you. Always a pleasure. For those just tuning in, thank you so much. We appreciate you. If you guys don't know, we're doing these weekly episodes with me and Ari, and then we do the other episodes where I interview guests about their way of life, how they live themselves for every day. That is the theme of the podcast. But for these ones, it's about BABS life. So we're talking about my take on things, and we're going to do some advice for guests, or not guests, for those of you that listen and write in. So without further ado, please like and subscribe. Let's dive into it. I'm so ready.
All right, so this week we're going to talk about something that kind of breaks down into a bunch of different topics.
Oh, I'm ready. Got my notes.
So some of the biggest trends on the internet
Okay.
start as a joke,
That they do.
a meme, a prank, like
Yeah.
TikTok sounds that go viral, right? But then sometimes they go a little bit too far
Okay.
and they're not funny anymore.
That's true.
So the reason that I thought about this was I had seen videos of the door kick challenge.
Okay.
Have you seen that?
I'm assuming they kicking a door.
They're kicking in front doors. There's
Okay.
kids taking videos of them kicking in front doors.
Sounds a little aggressive and insane, but nothing I wouldn't expect from Gen X or Z.
And there's a lot of like security clips of like kids kicking in front doors.
Like in
And
ring camera footage.
Yeah, exactly. And I just think that it's dangerous in today's day and age of like all the people that are armed and all the people that like take that really, really seriously.
Yeah.
And it turns into something that's not funny anymore.
Yeah. I mean, it's a risk. You're taking a risk. I mean, it's like those videos where the guy's like, it's a prank, bro. But they like touch the guy's girl, like the girl or something. Like, it's a prank. And then you've seen them get beat up. It's like, what did you think was going to happen?
Right.
You think everyone's going to be like willy nilly? It's like that, you just you gotta act appropriate sometimes. If you're just meeting somebody, like sometimes you need to just act appropriate. Like, I can't even get into that. Never mind.
But it's like, it's one of those things that like, you don't know kids aren't thinking about the consequences when they're doing that. They're just like the whole thing about social media is that like normal content doesn't go viral, but once you escalate it from what it started as, you get more attention.
That is true, and that's how you like stand out. But the question is right, like what is too far? It's like there's like that joke with Mr. Beast that like at some point he's gonna actually have people like fighting to the death.
Yeah.
Like at some point, like how far can he keep going with and pushing it in content? It's like eventually he's gonna be like, all right, there's an AR-15 on the ground. winner gets $1 million.
Yeah. And like for $1 million, there's going to be a lot of people that take it a little too far. But it also brings up like, I did a lot of searching about online trends and like things that start harmless. Like there's been also a bunch of like, hey, we're going to meet up here at this time and like just see how many people show up. And like it ends up like they're thinking that there's going to be like 20 or 30 people, and then thousands of people show up to this place,
funny,
and
though.
it's just chaos.
Now that's kind of funny. Like, well, okay, yeah, if the chaos happens, then you don't know what to do. But I think of like a flash mob or something, and you're like, only like 10 people are gonna come up, and then like 300 show up, and you're like, okay, this is kind of funny.
Right. But some of these aren't even like flash mobs. They're just like show up at this time and let's see how many people show up, just like for the shits and giggles. And then there's like 3,000 people wondering like, oh, why the hell
Why are there all these people here? Yeah. That is kind of, that's very funny. Like at its core, to me, that's very funny. Because imagine like you're used to going to the park every Wednesday, and you're like, I go to the park and I walk Sunset every Wednesday, and then you show up one day and you're like, why are there 3,000 people in a banana costume?
Right, doing nothing,
just hanging out in the field. And like it is very funny. Like that's something where like the humor around the situation just becomes funny, because you're like, everyone knows it's absurd that's doing it, but at the same time they're all there doing it, and you can only think about like, I wonder what people think about that are on the outside of this. Like, why I'm not a part of this? What's going on? I come here every day, but like this is not something I'm accustomed to. Yeah, I mean I think that shit's so funny. It's like those are like stupid small jokes to me that like have big impact.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's like I was at a Rockies game a while back and they had a Ryan meetup.
Yeah.
And so if your name
I was thinking about
Ryan,
that. Yeah.
you sit
I've seen
in the
those.
same section. And it's all because of Ryan Spielborgs and like his announcing for the Rockies. But it was so funny because my buddy was there sending me Snapchats and he's just in the middle of all these Ryans. And imagine not having to remember anybody's name and like just meeting everybody.
I'm starting to see guys do that at the game where they take their shirt off and then like they make a section, like the whole section they make the shirts off and they chant. They're like, one of us, one of us. Yeah, no, that's a fun thing. It's like a very fun thing to do. It's like when you're at a festival too and you can like get, like I remember one year at Lost Lands, it was like we started like, you know, like the rowing things. Like the rowing thing is so stupid.
Yeah.
This is so stupid. But I remember starting it.
So funny.
We had like 8 of us doing it, and the next thing we know, we have a video, and it's like 3 rows of people rowing, 45 people deep. Like it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous in the middle of the crowd.
Yeah.
And oh my gosh, this just reminded me of one time we I don't know who did it, but or my friend Sammy, shout out Sammy, she brought Twister to Lost Lands and snuck it in.
Oh, that's fun.
And the big board, not like the small one, and we were playing Twister in the crowd. And I have videos of us like in 2019 playing Twister in the crowd.
Wait, I saw people playing Twister in the crowd.
Was us.
That
was us.
We were not friends then.
We were not friends then.
That's
I would
so funny.
have never hung out with you back then.
Look at us now.
Colorado has changed me.
Hanging out with
Next
the
thing you
gays.
know, my hair gonna be purple.
And you're going to have pronouns.
Look at that fucking little bowl ring right here. You know how it is.
But anyways, like, so there's also like the parts of this that are less funny, which is like looks maxing, which is like a trend right now.
Yeah,
Where it's
I
like
think
transformation videos, glow up videos, and like it really creates a really harmful narrative of like pressure to optimize your appearance. And it started as like improve yourself.
Yes.
And work on how you're, you know, how you're living and living a healthy lifestyle. But then it quickly becomes like you're not enough unless you look like this.
Yeah, I think first off, a lot of those people that look like the look maxing thing, like they might be natural, but they look like they have plastic surgery, so it doesn't even look good.
Right.
And for the it just doesn't. And I think you can do. It's important to make yourself feel good and look good. They just go way too far with it every time. There's something mentally wrong with them, and I don't know what that is yet or what it could be, but there's something there, and there's no doubt there's something there.
Body dysmorphia.
That's probably it.
That's
yeah.
it.
Yeah. Look at you, little psychiatrist.
Well,
I don't know if that's
also a transgender person.
you just know about dysmorphias.
Yeah, I do. Just gender dysmorphia, body dysmorphia, all that fun stuff.
Something as a straight white man I apparently don't understand.
Yo, I learned a new acronym the other day.
Okay.
It's called ABCD.
Okay.
And it stands for
All but cock and dick.
anybody but cis dudes.
Well, I was off. I certainly didn't know what it meant.
But I mean, it also goes back to like, I mean, there was these trends in like when we were younger.
Yeah.
Without them being put on social media and without them being like broadcast. Like I remember when I was in high school, there was the blackout game where kids were like choking themselves until they blacked out. And it was like,
I do not remember that.
you don't remember that?
No.
What about like the cinnamon challenge?
Yeah, I remember that, or the saltine cracker challenge,
kids
things
were
like
going to the
that.
hospital
Yeah, that's true. I
They
do
were
remember those.
inhaling cinnamon.
Did those not come from like YouTube though? Like, where did those come from?
I mean, sure, yeah, they probably came from YouTube, but like I don't remember. Like I did the cinnamon challenge in my friend's kitchen just because like we wanted to. It wasn't like we were trying to put it on TikTok and like make it go viral.
Right, I get what you're saying. Yeah, we were just doing it to be done.
We were just doing it to be done.
Yeah, we were throwing pencils at the ceiling for no reason.
Yeah, and they had to stick in the ceiling.
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
like the Tide Pod challenge.
But that was on social media.
Was it?
I think so. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, which is dumb.
People were dying.
Yeah, they almost took them away. There was like a rumor like we're not going to be making them anymore.
Right, and now there's child locks on them and everything, like on the Tide Pod containers.
Yeah,
There's child
sixth grade, I wouldn't be able to get in a jar.
No, you never know.
That Florida education.
I was
right
about
there.
to say you're from Florida, so.
That Florida education. The Tide Pod jar was hard to open in sixth grade.
But another one that like is a big trend right now is the skull breaker challenge.
I don't know that one.
It's where like one person jumps and then this other person on the other side jumps and then the third person in the middle jumps and they kick their feet out from underneath.
Oh, I have seen that. Yeah,
And
yeah, that's a funny one.
People are like getting concussions, like cracking their heads open, like breaking their spine. And like, you know, all because it's set to some fun, like silly TikTok music. Everybody thinks it's hilarious, but like people are getting hurt, like really hurt.
It's interesting because I was just having this conversation yesterday with somebody. Like people really do not understand like what small little things can just kill them.
Yeah.
Like they really like, you know, like the massage guns, you know, the Theraguns, they like say in the description, like do not do your neck
On your neck. Or
because
your
you can
spine.
just hit a nerve or not a nerve, but like a vein and then just
Done.
immediate dead. Like just no more blood to your brain, you're dead.
Yeah.
So I didn't know that. I've never known. I don't think I've ever done it, but
He's
I never
I've been
thought
using a
about
massage gun on my neck.
it. But I mean, I've done it like on my shoulders, so like it's possible where like you
Right.
go over. I never knew that until last night, and I was like, oh, that's so true. Yeah, you can just you can literally like rub yourself too hard. What if I just died right then and there? It's just like you could just fell.
Just and now it's the Ari's Life podcast.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I just like I really found this topic to be interesting because like it even goes as something as simple as like we've all heard it, it's been a thing and now it's cringe, but YOLO used to be a huge thing of like you only live once, and people were taking it to an extreme and doing stuff that was a really bad idea and getting either hurt or dying from it.
I mean, they were definitely embodying the whole definition of it. They were really only living once.
Yeah.
They were dying
But
for the
like,
cause.
I don't need to test that.
Which is like I guess if you were like on the hierarchy of YOLO masters, they were the top. They had reached enlightenment
You're okay.
to the key. Yeah.
It's like oh, you get to heaven and they're like, what happened to you? And YOLO.
You're like, you heard of YOLO God. I know you did. You put that shit out
You
there.
know who I am.
You know who I am. I'm the YOLO master.
But-
First one to die from the tread.
But my TikTok had some sick music in the background. So.
Mom and dad will inherit that.
But like it's just it brings up the important point of like the next time that you want to post a trend, like you really have to ask yourself, like, is this still a joke?
Yeah.
Like, is this still funny? Is this not harmful? Like if somebody were to see this, are they going to try to replicate it? Or even worse, in today's social media day and age, like, are they going to make it take it even farther, like, and take it to the next level?
Yeah, I mean, what I'll say is I don't think you ever know truly what something's going to evolve into. So it's not like it's your responsibility as a person to like you do something and you do it correctly and you don't get hurt. It's kind of not on you if other people do it and they fuck up and get hurt. It's like in WWE, they had the wrestling, like the tombstone where the guy drops you on his head, but like the professional wrestlers practice it and he like puts his legs around the guy's head. So it looks like he drops on his head, but his head's protected in the guy's legs.
Right.
Well, kids would do that shit too. And they drop their cousin on the fucking concrete and he dies. Right. So like, that's not like, it is, I mean, I guess you should, put a disclaimer, but like, it's kind of not on you as a content person that you make something and it just happens to catch on and then something happens. It's on the individual person.
Right.
I'll argue that all day.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's basically like that's what I had thought of for trends. If you think of a different trend that you think about, leave us a comment because I want to know like what trends people have seen that have ended up badly. And like I've got a bunch of different examples in here. There's one that's called the saxophones are getting louder. And I had to research that.
Okay.
And so the saxophones are getting louder is like basically it's inspired by a scene from Boys in the Hood.
Okay.
And it's basically people like making really dramatic edits of like these memes, but then it's got this silly music in the background of these saxophones that keep getting louder. And
shout out Lucas.
What's up, Lucas?
Shout out Lucas.
And it turns like they are, really talking about some really deep stuff in their lives, and they're turning emotions into like shareable content.
Okay.
Which is like, it's cool in a way because they get to share what's on their mind with like this meme behind it, so it makes it a little less heavy.
Yeah, so it's not like me telling you how like, oh my God, I got my heart broken. It's a meme telling you that I got your heart broken.
Right. And it just kind of like brings in like the thought of like, is there a line between like coping and normalizing this of like, they're talking about real stress and like real dread and it's a joke, but it's like,
but it's real.
Also definitely not a joke.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. You gotta cope with how you cope. I mean, I joke about things all the time. I remember this clear as day too. Okay, so the girl that cheated on me.
Yeah.
Okay, I remember clear as day when I went to go meet up with her and talk with her, and we were walking the dog. She said something to me. It was the first time we met up afterwards. It was like a week or so later, and I was like, all right, I'll have to go check it out, scope things out, talk to her. I remember her being like, "Do you want to come upstairs?" And I was like, "I don't think so. Someone might be up there." And I just said this. She was like, "What?" And I was like, last time I showed up there, someone was there. I coped with it, even though it was a shitty thing. I was just like, and she was like, "What?" And I was like, "I mean, look, I don't really want to go up there. There could be somebody could be up there.
Somebody else up there.
So yeah, I mean, sometimes you gotta cope with shit, man. I don't know what to tell you.
You gotta find a way.
I don't know.
I mean, if you can't make fun of yourself, then like, what's the point? You know. I mean, I don't know if that's necessarily making fun of yourself.
No, I mean, that was making fun of the situation. I did say something else to her, and she looked at me, and I go, "What? I can't take a joke?" And she was like, she's like, "No, I deserve that." And I was like, "There'll be more coming." I was like, "The only way we're gonna get through this is if I'm making jokes about that."
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So to close off our episode today, we're gonna take a message from one of our people that watching, and shout out to me because it's me. I need some advice.
Oh, shit. Shit.
So
just got real. No memes about this one.
So one of the biggest things that I admire about Babs is that he puts so much energy and so much love and so much passion into the podcast, the Babs Life podcast. And he has his job that definitely pays the bills. And he is doing something that...
What do you mean this don't pay the bills?
Let's be so real. Let's be so fucking for real, right?
We ain't there yet.
We're not there yet.
We working on it.
But that's the thing, is that every time that we talk about the pod, like, your answer is we're not there yet. Like, you have not given up on that because we're just getting started. And I have really been having some tough times at work lately and have been planning my birthday party for this coming June. Mm-hmm. And it's been given me the opportunity to, like, I've booked out a venue, shout out Laramie Lounge. And I have a lineup that's ready to go. Babs is going to be there. He's going to play a set for me. And it's been making me really excited. Like, and it's something that I hadn't thought about before. Mm-hmm. But I ordered one of the giant cutouts, like the cardboard cutouts of me. I rented a photo booth. I've created a special drink menu that I'm going to, like, pitch to them that they can make throughout the night, so that, like, it's like Ari centered drinks, you know? And, like, the first one's going to be called Ari. It's just a tequila shot with a lime and a water back, because that's what I take. Or a pickle shot. I love a good pickle shot. But the advice that I guess I'm asking
pickle
is,
shot.
What step do I take that while, like, I have a job that pays the bills, and that I have a passion for, but maybe getting into something that I had never thought about doing before in a different field of, we talked on a past podcast about, like, that AI is going to take over, like, all the accounting jobs and things like that.
Yeah.
And the greatest thing about being human is, like, the creativity of us.
Right.
And my job doesn't leave a lot of space for creativity. And so I guess my question is, like, how do I put myself in the mindset of being able to focus on this task of maybe, like, being in the entertainment industry, or, like, even like a party planning thought, or, in a promoter sense that, I've built this lineup of, like, all my homies that are just going to, like, play for me. And it's been a lot of fun. And so I want to know what steps you took to kind of, like, really bring the podcast to fruition.
Yeah. I mean, my story is interesting just because this is something I've done for so long, but it was never, like, the main focus. And then it took me some time away and evaluating on, like, what is it that I enjoy doing? Like, what is it that I can stay in on a Friday night and do clips for, or whatever the work is. It doesn't necessarily mean that, but, like, and not care that I'm maybe missing out on going to the clubs and bars with friends. So what is that thing that, like, you're passionate about, and, like, the drive is also there? It doesn't mean you're not going to want to go out and have fun either. I'm just saying, like, there's times where you're like, okay, I need to do something tonight. I'm going to go do that. And instead of what I had planned, like, that's because it means something to you and you like it. So I think that's, like, the key is, like, liking it. Because when you're liking something, it doesn't feel like work. Like, you're just, like, you're like doing the thing you have to do. And don't get me wrong, there's parts of everything that you're not going to like, starting your own business, you got to do your taxes, you got to do your accounting, you got to turn all that in. And, your expense reports, all that stuff. And, like, that stuff's fucking boring. That shit's annoying. Not everyone likes to do that. Not everyone's an accountant. And like eventually you get to a point where you can pawn that off. And that's like the real goal is like you want to continue to do the thing that you really like, pawn everything else off to the people that can do that. And that doesn't mean they don't like it. Just you don't like it and you don't want to do that anymore.
Right.
So like it's just like whatever the focus is, it should be something that you're very passionate about and you have no problem like talking about it. And that doesn't mean there's not, you might be shy about it, but there's no shame when you start talking about it is the best way to put it. Like I'm like, and I'll give you an example with me with the podcast. Like for a while, I wasn't like, I don't tell people I have a podcast. It's just weird to me, but I'm not shameful of it. Like other people will be like, he has a podcast, and then I'll start going off on it.
Right.
And so like, there's that. But I think it comes down to like the passion behind it because, and remembering that passion, because there are going to be days where you're working on this party or whatever the project is and you're grinding and it might not seem as passionable that time, but then like what was the core thing that got you to do it? For me, it's like I love talking to people and I love giving advice and just like hearing people out and getting their perspective and why they like things. And so for me, like that fuels me. So like when I have a really good podcast, I feel energized to do the other stuff that maybe I don't want to sit and do, but I need to do still. Right. So there's like that. I think that's the most important thing. Yeah.
That's all I got for you today.
Heck yeah. That was dope. I like that.
All right.
Well,
tune in next time.
Like and subscribe, everybody. Peace.
Bye.